Well, my name's Jonathan. The reason I'm here is Stephanie made me. So really what I'm to talk about my story and why I do what I do. And what I do is I'm a vlogger. I talk about living with addiction every day, mental health issues and the stigmas that go around it, so that's what I kind of do now. But my story starts when I was, say, 3. I was took into a children's home when I was younger because my mother had an alcohol problem and my father wasn't about. So from the age of 3 until 10 I was in care in Nazareth House, which is up the street there in Bishop Street. And for me it was probably the best time as a kid I had, was in the children's home, because not only was I was the youngest and I got away with blue murder and it was great. And really, like, when I was 10, my mum passed away from alcohol related death, and that's when my life sort of stopped completely, like, because I was always, and still am, a mummy's boy. And when I was 10 I was told then to live with my dad, and me and my dad never got on. So at about the age of 10 I developed depression, and because when I was younger, like, it was a lot different. People didn't get depression and stuff, it was less talked about. So by the age of 13 I was living with my dad and I was struggling with eating. I didn't eat that much. I had what the doctors called bulimia. That's where you throw up after you eat. And through that then I started self-harming. That came about by accident. I dropped red sauce on the floor and I was picking it up and I got a cut in the hand and I got an instant release. And it was how things then progressed from that. I was drinking, I started getting more influenced by alcohol and stuff. And by the age of 16 I would probably say I was a full-blown alcoholic at 16. And at 16 I moved to live with my cousin in Rafo, which is a very small village in Donegal, which literally has no other purpose other than being Rafo. After that I moved to Derry, to the Strand Foyer. And in the Strand Foyer they kept me alive for about 6 years, because at the age of 16 I was constantly suicidal. I was self-harming daily. The slightest thing sent me off. Like, somebody could call me fat or whatever, I would have been like really bad. And every day, every night I was drinking a load of alcohol. Like, it was unreal how much alcohol I was consuming. By the age of 18 I had been resuscitated 2 or 3 times. I had my stomach pumped once, and after getting the stomach pumped I went straight back and started drinking again. I was escorted to Lonbdonderry in handcuffs by the police because they believed me to be a danger to myself. And this is all before I'm even 20, so it was a really bad time for me, like, growing up. And when I was 20 it was she works in here now, or no, she worked in here. It was a girl called Michelle Nash. She actually told me to come into Bytes and start volunteering and try and find a purpose for my life. And that's what I did. I started youth work, even though I was still heavily drinking and still suicidal and all that. But I had a focus, and Bytes was my focus as a kid growing up. And then I got a part-time job in the place, which was great. But through my addiction to alcohol, I lost the job, and that drove me to an even darker place. And when I was 23, that was the last time I tried to commit suicide, and I was brought around by the PSNI, who was been alerted by a friend that I was on my own and a danger to myself. So they came charging them through the door while I was passed out, and I sort of woke up to a policewoman sort of shaking me, and that's terrifying because you don't know what's happening. And then after that, then I sort of realised the main thing in my life was alcohol. Like, when I started drinking, I got more confident. I was more outgoing. I seemed funnier. I've had more luck with girls and stuff. So alcohol, and it took away all the pain that I was feeling. But by the age of like 16, when I thought this was the best thing invented, to 23, sort of doing anything and everything to get alcohol, pretty much. Like I robbed, stole, anything to get alcohol. And when I was 26, so I went to Italy to work, and I thought that would be great and stuff. But I ruined my own experience when I'm working in Italy just by drinking loads of alcohol. And I didn't drink with people, I drank on my own. I always drank on my own. And then when I was in Italy, I was lucky enough to find someone, and I fell in love with this person. But the alcohol was always ruining the relationship. So in March last year we broke up, and for me that was it. I couldn't, when I was like looking back to my life, all the relationships that I had lost, family that I lost, friends, everything, there's one reason why I was losing everything, it was alcohol. So on the 27th of March last year I went into Convera, which is a rehab, and that was 3 months. No television, no phone, no radio, old-fashioned letter writing, one visit a month sort of idea. Volunteer came in to cut everybody's hair and stuff. It was like proper out of the world sort of experience. Like as a Protestant, I was going to mass 4 times a week, and I've never did that before. There was a rosary every night. It was completely crazy. But for me, the thing was there was no other alternative. I needed to get out of the circle of alcohol, because every other time I had heartbreak, I'd put the heart back together with vodka, and that's not healthy. It's really not. And when I came out of rehab, I had this conflicting thing, and it's something I struggled with right up until this year. Is just that I lost my mother because of alcohol, and I've lost a friend more recently through alcohol, and it was always in my head that why did I get sober and why not them. And then I realised with my mum it was harder, because back in 1999, a long time ago, there wasn't as much support. And then with my friend, she didn't realise she had a problem. That's the first thing is sort of going, I have an addiction, or I have a problem, or it might be getting too much for me. And she couldn't see that, and it was hard to watch and hear that she passed away. But since I got sober, it's been over a year now, and I mean my life is so different. Like I've always had a passion for travelling, and this year alone, since January, I've been in 9 countries. I've been abroad 10 times. And people think, oh, you must be loaded because of that. No, Ryanair's brilliant. And then I have friends from Italy that are spread around Europe, and I sleep sofas, floor, baths, you name it, they'll give me a pillow and a blanket, and I'm happy. And for me, it's just amazing how quick my life has turned around. And then in March, was it March? May? March time, I think they decided to come up with this thing called One Man Was Turtle. This is the turtle. I had a video of him talking, seriously, but it didn't load. But so pretty much Mikey sort of helps me. His name's Michelangelo, he's a turtle. So I got him in Italy when I was about 2 years ago. And for me, when I travel now, I take him everywhere for the simple reason it helps me with my anxiety for travelling. More recently, last week, I was coming back from Amsterdam and everything was delayed. And I was stressed. I mean, I was like Stephanie now today, like proper stressed. And every time I get proper stressed, I sort of just take him out and put him on my shoulder and take a photo. And people seem to react to him, even like from the brand of One Man and Turtle. More people are interested in the turtle than me, and I'm perfectly happy with that. But what I do is I talk about what it's like travelling with anxiety or living with anxiety. What it's like every day, getting up in the morning, sort of going, I don't want to get out of bed, and not getting out of bed, and then the next day going, I did nothing. And my phone's the worst because it's got a built-in step count, you can't turn it off. So you can look and you're going like 15,000 steps one day, and the next day it's like 5 from me to the bathroom and back again. And being sober, there's things that you sort of, people always talk to you about the good times of drinking and stuff, but for me I always remember, waking up, like passed out outside my flat door with a key in the door, me sort of using a pair of jeans as a pillow, and no idea why I didn't go into the house, or waking up in a bed that's absolutely soaking. Being a grown man and wetting yourself is not an attractive quality, and that's what alcohol did to me. It really destroyed my life, and it took my mummy away, it took me one of my best friends away, and it nearly took me away. And people to tell you like, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It is, it really does get you. And it's not something people really talk about, because we have this culture in Ireland where the grand, we'll go to the pub, we'll have a few drinks, and for me I can't take one or two drinks, unfortunately. Like, if I take one drink, I'm gone. I go to a dark place, and in Covera they call me like a blackout drinker, because I go start drinking on a Friday and wake up on a Wednesday covered in bottles, it's God knows where. Sort of go, how the hell did I get here, or where I got? Because I woke up in Cork, no idea how, like 5 days later in Cork, no idea how I got there. I went to Donegal matches in the Gaelic and woke up in Letterkenny in some random person's house with it, not knowing that I went to the match or where I was. And it was really, it's scary. But now I look back at it and I think for me that I've gone through all this, and for me I feel like it's my duty to sort of tell people this is what it's like. And when you come out of like rehab like I did, or any sort of treatment, it doesn't go away every day. You're battling it. Every day you're sort of struggle. You wake up in the morning and you have to go, today I'm not going to drink, today I'm not going to commit suicide. And you have to reiterate this every single day. And it's just the way my life is. And the way it was a year and a half ago, I'm pretty happy with life now. And me and Mikey just enjoying a wee adventure, travelling wherever and doing whatever we can. And we're very thankful for Stephanie for letting us tell us what it's like to, come through everything. And the reason I do what I do is just I don't want all our young people going through what I did without, any hope, and that's what I do.